We're joined with head coach Ashley Johnston for this week's Power of Pink meet. Coach, we'll start with an opening statement, then we'll go into questions.
Yeah, it's Power of Pink meet, and we're really excited to be going into a really special evening. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to really take the focus off of ourselves and put it on the greater good and how we can use our platform to make a difference. And throughout this week, our ladies have made touch points with each of the survivors that they'll be walking out arm in arm with tomorrow night. In addition, we've gone to DCH Hospital and visited with different patients that are going through their own battle. And it's just been really a great week to just think about things outside of what we normally are in the weeds of on a week-to-week basis and to compete for something bigger. So we're really excited to see what's hopefully a sold-out crowd tomorrow night. I think we're just a couple thousand people away from being able to officially determine that it's a sold-out crowd. So buy your tickets so that we can have a great night together.
How did the way that the Pattersons led and coached you kind of impact the way that you do the same things now?
You know, the way that Sarah and David led this program, it's really what brought me to Alabama in the first place. I remember on my recruiting trip being a part of, at that time it was Hurricane Katrina, and it was seeing the team go out in the community and raise funds to give back to people that were going through a hard time. I also was able to see a pink meet, and it was in maybe the second or third year that ever happened, and I just remember that moment of seeing a competition, seeing everybody wearing pink, and just again using our platform to make a difference in this world. That's really what drew me to being a part of a program that was all about service, all about making a difference for others, and the way that their leadership has really molded my perspective. And what we're doing now is everything, and just so honored and blessed to continue to have Sarah and David a big part of what we're doing, and to be able to honor Sarah tomorrow night as the first 10-0 of the meet for her profound impact in our program, in our community, and in our country is just something that's really special to me.
This year is the 20th anniversary of the Power of Pink. Can you talk a little bit about how the landscape of college gymnastics has changed from then to now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the landscape of, not just gymnastics, but all sports has changed dramatically through the years. When I think back to, 50 years ago and celebrating women's sports and athletics, all the trailblazers and all the people that stepped out, took a risk, fought for change, fought for having a platform, for having a voice. I think it just is such an inspiration to what we continue to speak into and pour into our athletes now, which is not being afraid of being told no, and using your platform to fight for the things that you're passionate and that you believe can make a difference in our world.
Gymnastics is kind of a unique sport, and that wins and losses aren't necessarily the barometer of success, but obviously as competitors, I'm sure y'all want to win. Mm-hmm. With this being Power of Pink, Auburn rivalry at home meet, is that something y'all are talking about, if this is a meet that we want to get a win?
Yeah, we always want to get a win. And we've kind of laughed about this. Obviously, at this point, we would love to win every meet. We would love to be untouchable. We would love to do all those things. But you got to play the hand of cards that you have. And we've had numerous situations where we faced some adversity, we faced some setbacks, and this team is doing everything in their power to overcome those things, to continue to chip away, to set ourselves up for a great half of the season now. We're only halfway into it. We've got a lot of opportunities to go to maximize our potential, what this team is capable of doing. And I've used this analogy a couple times now, and it goes back to Coach Murphy. And when I hear his stories about his last year's softball team, and every team needs a different length of runway. And I think that just really speaks to what our team is going through, that we just need a little bit longer of a runway to fully take off. And they're doing the work, they're doing everything in their power to have an opportunity to break through, to be great, and I think they're primed and ready to do that.
Yeah, Coach, just to touch back a little bit on, the platform that teams now have since, sports changing over the past 20 years, and just like teams being able to put out messages, and what message are you hoping to send on tomorrow night, the Power of Pink display?
Yeah, I think the Power of Pink night goes hand in hand with our Be the Change night. And I think it's amazing to think back 20 years ago when Sarah was starting this Power of Pink movement. The I think it was like 3 out of 5 of women were struggling with breast cancer. And I would say that those odds have improved dramatically since that time. I'd like to say largely based on this amazing movement and dedication to building the resources to help people going through what they're battling. And so I think the message is to be a difference maker. You know, everybody is fighting their own battle, is faced with a different set of circumstances and adversity. And I think our athletes, our staff, people, we're in a place where we have the platform and the ability to create meaningful change. And so it's about recognizing that we do have that voice and we do have the ability, and to step out, take a risk, be a trailblazer, and be a difference maker.
Couple more.
Coach, one of the things you talked about what this week means outside of the gymnastics, going to see DCH and visiting some of those the cancer patients. When I showed up the last few days and I see those street lights in pink, that is something that's definitely kind of speaks to what this is all about. How cool is that for just a team who's getting ready to compete on Friday?
Yeah, you know, I think there's no better feeling actually than driving into Coleman and seeing the pink lights just everywhere. And I know for me that takes me back to my own competition experience, and when it was pink week or pink month, whenever those lights turned pink, it just meant more. It turns a me mentality into a we mentality, and to walk out on that script day arm in arm with somebody who has fought a breast cancer battle, it's so incredibly meaningful to know that you're competing for more than yourself. You're competing for your team, you're competing for your community, you're competing to be a difference maker, to help change the lives of other people around you. And I just love the fact that our program has come hand in hand with pink. It's almost one of our colors now. We're crimson white, houndstooth, thanks to Bear Bryan, and pink, thanks to Sarah Patterson. And what a blessing and an honor it is to represent an institution like that.
Last one if we have it.
You talked about this team maybe needing a little bit of a longer runway. Do you feel like there's still big growth, maybe as far as even scoring potential in this team that we haven't seen yet so far this year?
I absolutely do. I think this team, I said it from the first meet of the year, I think this team is scary good. I do. And we've had a variety of setbacks and things that we couldn't control, but we do control how we move forward. And I think this team has shown that they're resilient, they're going to keep fighting. And just like when you're on a longer runway, I think we're faced with this position now where we're going to trust that we're secured, our seatbelts are fastened, we're ready to go, or we're going to be overwhelmed by fear and unknown. And I think we have a choice in that right now, what we're going to focus on. And so we need to focus on the right things. We can't let fear, expectations, pressures, things like that get in our way. We've got to trust that we've done the work, we have the tools, we have the people, and that it's time to take off. And they're ready to do that, and really it comes down to them believing that they can do that.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks.